Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope everyone's doing fantastically well on this Friday afternoon. We have lots of people here already. We've got, Mrs. Charlton is with Charlotte Annabelle, Mrs. Lowry, and Mrs. Jones. Good afternoon to you. A big good afternoon to Mr. Croxon from Birmingham. So some of you will be thinking, who's this invader? Mr. Croxon, I believe, works at Leah Forest Primary Academy, which is another one of our amazing AET academies. So welcome, Mr. Croxon. I hope you've had a lovely week. I hope you stay in the duration as well. Great to have you with us. Afternoon, Mr. Hall and Miss Miller. Good afternoon to Josh. Good afternoon to Mrs. Brown. Hello, Amelia. Have you had a good week? Really lovely for you to join us this afternoon. As always at the beginning, type into the comments. Let me know what you've been up to this week, whether you've been at school or whether you've been at home. What have you been getting up to? I'm not going to do the snail joke anymore because it's had its time. But let me know what else you've been doing. Have you been out and about? What have you enjoyed doing in school? How many of you have been getting involved in things like the live lessons? Have you been doing LBQs? What did you think of the Festival of Remarkable Lives on Wednesday? We had an amazing day here in school. Very warm and sweaty inside a Batman costume, but absolutely fun all the same. So just drop your comments in the side of there. Let me know what it is that you've been up to. And then we'll wait just for a few more to get involved, and then we'll get started. We'll have a look at who's been our superstars. Afternoon, Diana. You've got Winnie Mum, yourself, Olivia, Oracle, and Dad with you. Huge welcome and hello to the family. Keep your stuff coming in via Twitter. I absolutely love seeing Oracle's learning. It's amazing. And well done to you all, especially for making a Twitter account, especially just for learning. I think that's been absolutely wonderful. Fantastic. Let me see whether my chat has frozen. Oh, no, it's not. Miss Miller says, Emily liked dancing with Batman this week, and Batman liked dancing with Emily. I wish I could say the same for my daughters. I wish they enjoyed it as well, Miss Miller and Emily. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm certainly not allowed to watch it again. They were very cringed by the situation, which I'm disappointed in because I give it my all. Afternoon, Louise. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Adam. Hello, Emily, Ollie, and Bex. Bex, what did you think of my TikTok-style video dressed as Batman? I thought it was okay. Tim, what did you think? Tim? Oh, okay. Right, I'm going to get started. As always, the numbers tend to start low and probably rise, but I know quite a few families now like watching the recording of this at a later day because we've got Eco Shop, and of course, some of the children have only just left us a short while ago as well. I'm glad they loved it. I knew they would. Thank you, Louise, for that boost in confidence. Right, let's get to the main event, which is to talk about our stars of the week. Sound check, as always. Tim, how's the drumming coming along? Oh, he's been practicing. And how is your cheering? Amazing. Look how ready I am this week. No more instances like last week when we're getting children's names mixed up and the sound effects aren't working and all of that palaver. We're going to do it proper and we're doing professional. And I've just realized as well, it's probably the first one of these that I've done wearing a shirt and tie. So there you go. Special events all round. Good afternoon, Seb. Hello, Catherine, and the rest of the family. I hope you're all really well. So the first star of the week. We'll go back to starting from nursery. I know we flipped it last week. And we're going to start with someone who has given us a fantastic picture of a big police car and used a pencil to really try hard this week to write his name on it. And that superstar chosen by Miss Bentley, Miss Miller, Mrs. Watson, and Tim is Kovan. Well done, Kovan, you superstar of the week. We will send your certificate via Marvelous Me very, very shortly. Well done, Kovan. I'm really pleased to see you on there. Huge round of applause from Mr. Hall there, and I'm sure lots of other people will follow as well. Well done, Kovan. Moving on to reception A, and we have a young lady who has been a really good role model in class this week and has helped others with their learning. So not just being a sensational learner, but being a sensational role model and showing the traits of a learning leader. Now, Louise Rose, I'm just thinking, your Rebecca was probably one of the first learning leaders we had in our new design of the system here at North Ormsby. I think she was a prefect. We called them prefects at the time, but a learning leader nonetheless. This young lady in reception A has been shown those traits. And that young lady is Annabelle Lyle. Well done, Annabelle. And I know you're still in school and watching this, and I hope you're jumping down and dancing like Tim is and being really, really happy about that because you've been a superstar. Well done, Annabelle. So we have Kovan and we have Annabelle in early years so far. To finish the early years triangle, we've got reception B, and we have someone who has shown great resilience towards her reading and shown a can-do attitude just like Tim. And the reception B star of the week is Jasmine. Well done, Jasmine. You third and final early years superstar of the week. Well done, Kovan. Well done, Annabelle. Well done, Jasmine. Kovan, your certificate will come via Marvelous Me really soon. And Annabelle and Jasmine, yours will be on Seesaw shortly after the video. Well done to our early years superstars. Moving on to Miss Nesbitt's year 1 class. And we have another young lady, this time for super effort to develop her writing skills. And Miss Nesbitt and Tim have chosen Lainey Graham Holder. Well done, Lainey, you little writing superstar. Your certificate will be ready for you on Seesaw very, very soon. Moving on to year 1-2. And we've got Mrs. Brown's class. We've got a young man. And he has also been doing some super writing. This time for writing a super set of instructions to explain how to make a pirate hat. Mrs. Brown and Tim have chosen Nathan. Well done, Nathan. The brother, of course, to Jasmine. So that superstardom is running in the family this week. Well done to Nathan and well done to Lainey. Our final Key Stage 1 class, Mrs. Dixon's year 2 class. And we have another young man, this time for creating a fantastic video using his art and technology skills. So there's a fantastic video yesterday that's on our Twitter and our Facebook pages. And I know that Mrs. Dixon was over the moon to see the learning from this young man. And indeed, all of the learning that he's done, because he's been in school quite a lot over the last few weeks and months. I'll give you some clues there. So Mrs. Dixon and Tim's year 2 star of the week is Luke Watson. Well done, Luke. Fantastic video yesterday, and I hope you really enjoyed. In fact, I can tell from your video that you really enjoyed doing some stop motion animation. What a fantastic skill set to know by year 2 and as young as you are. Isn't that amazing? So well done to Luke, Lainey and Nathan, our Key Stage 1 stars of the week. And of course to Jasmine, Annabelle and Kovan, our early years stars of the week. Moving on to Key Stage 2. And we've got Mrs. Brown, the other Mrs. Brown's year 3 class, for his continued hard work throughout the whole 15 weeks of home learning. So never letting up, this young man, in his home learning. For continued hard work, Mrs. Brown and Tim have chosen for year 3 Jack Falloon. Well done, Jack, you little superstar. Your work has been absolutely amazing for 15 weeks. 15 weeks. We know how hard it is at home, and I think there needs to be a huge round of applause and a huge congratulations to those that are working with Jack at home as well, because it's not easy to support young learners, certainly for 15 weeks as well. So well done to Jack and everyone at home who's supporting him. Absolutely amazing. Mrs. Slinger's year 3-4 class. We have a young lady who has shown or given us some outstanding information on a poster about Galileo. So learning about the scientist Galileo, and that is Lucia Jameson. Well done, Lucia. Fantastic achievement to get star of the week. And your information post-it, absolutely amazing as well. I'm going to ask you in a couple of weeks' time what you remember about Galileo and why it's important. Well done, Lucia, and of course to Jack. Year 4 and Miss Tumbldy's class, we have someone who has produced some amazing digital artwork. Everybody's been producing amazing digital artwork. It's really been something that I've seen as a lovely thread throughout the last few months. But this young lady in particular showed some amazing digital artwork on the solar system this week. And Miss Tumblety and Tim, of course, recognise that. And that young lady from year 4 is Lavanya. Well done, Lavanya. Not your first star of the week, so it goes to show how amazing and prolonged your attitude and application's been through the last few months. Well done to you, you little learning superstar. So we've got Kovan, Annabelle, and Jasmine. We've got Nathan, Lainey, and Luke. We have Jack, Lucia, and Lavanya. All of your certificates from Reception A will be on Seesaw shortly. Kovan, yours will be sent via Marvelous Me. Year 5. Very short, very simple, but very amazing. For a super, that word was super, a super week of learning in year 5, Mrs. Frost's class. This young man is Logan Tomlinson. Well done, Logan. I'm so pleased to see your name on there. It's been amazing to see you back at school and amazing to see your name appearing on the Stars of the Week list. Well done. Let's keep that super week of learning going. Just 2 to go until the summer. Keep it going until then. Keep it going through the summer and then keep it going all the way through year 6 as well when we come back in September. Well done, Logan. Moving on, 2 more classes. Mr. Hall's year 5-6 class. So we've got another outstanding week from someone. Another outstanding week. And it's not just from someone such as another week. It's another week of engagement with all aspects of distance learning as well. So someone else, I mentioned about Lucia and Lavanya's application throughout all of the last few weeks and months. This young man has been equally as amazing right from the beginning of lockdown and schools closing. His work then and his work now has been absolutely amazing, despite it getting tough and despite having lots of people around him as well, in terms of his learning and trying to support his siblings, because we know that he does a lot of that. So, Mr. Hall and Tim's year 5-6 star of the week is Jacob Lee. Well done, Jacob. Again, not the first time that you've won the Star of the Week certificate. So just goes to back up what I was saying before about your learning being amazing throughout this entire time. Well done, Jacob. I'm really, really proud of you. And all the work that you do, and certainly your mum and dad and everyone else in the house in supporting one another, because you've got a lot going on, a lot of learning going on in your house. So well done, Jacob. And you are absolutely welcome. You're very, very welcome. So well done, Jacob. Well done, Logan. Well done, Lavanya, Lucia, Jack, Luke, Lainey, Nathan, Jasmine, Annabelle, and Kovan. Got 1 more star of the week from Mr. Watson's year 6 class. And we have had amazing artwork each and every week from this young lady since she returned to school. It's as simple and as lovely again as that. So the year 6 star of the week from Mr. Watson and Tim is Imogen Corrie. Well done, Imogen. And again, not the first time you've won Star of the Week. So just goes to show that your attitude and application has been absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Another amazing week of learning in school, and a huge well done to Kovan, to Annabelle, to Jasmine, Nathan, Lainey, Luke, Jack, Lucia, Lavanya, Logan, Jacob, and Imogen. Let's give them a big round of applause. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have Tim have a little seat there. How are you doing, Tim? You okay? Wonderful. Well done, boys and girls. And as I always say, your certificates will be on Seesaw shortly. In nursery, Kovan, yours will be sent via Marvelous Me really, really soon. I'll finish, as always, with some updates and quite a few amazing bits of information this week. First, I'm going to start with a thank you for everyone who has been involved in the Time for Talk sessions. So those are appointments that we've arranged with you to come into school if your child hasn't already been attending, that is, and touch base with us with regards to how you felt the last few weeks, how you felt with regards to support and learning, and of course, what your thoughts and feelings are about returning to school after the summer. Just a reminder, if you haven't got an appointment booked, please do call us and get one booked. If you've missed your appointment and you really want to get to an appointment, give us a call and we'll rearrange that. If you miss your appointment, we will be giving you a call and having that conversation over the phone. This is a huge project, the one that we think is very, very important for all of our children. We want to touch base and have the confidence in going off for the summer, knowing that we've talked to every single child and parent before that prolonged 6 weeks. Make sure that if you've got appointments coming up, that you bring in your school iPad. That is just for us to check the iPad over and also for us to show you our Virtually Nopper website, which I'm going to talk about in a little while, and also ask you about using the iPad over the summer. Please also bring with you any reading books. So you'll have had the reading books since all the way back on the 23rd of March, which was when lockdown and the school closures began. We're collecting those back now because many of those are from our school sets, and we're going to look to our reading supports and get everything prepared and ready for a good push in reading come September. I mentioned Virtually Nopper, so many of you who have been to your appointment, or if not all of you who have been for your appointment, will have seen our new website. We have been working incredibly hard behind the scenes, lots of work from our staff, both in school and at home. We've got lots of those areas finished and still a lot to do. But those of you that have seen it have given us some amazing feedback. It's not a class teacher, but we think it's one of the closest ICT resources to use that matches up with teaching in a classroom. And that's why we call it Virtually Nopper. If you want to keep your iPad over the summer to use Virtually Nopper, that is there. That option is there. We know that some of you don't because you're still a little bit apprehensive about iPads breaking. That's absolutely fine. If you have a different device to use Virtually Nopper on, then you can do that. That's fine. You can hand us the iPad back. If you don't want to do anything over the summer and you think that in terms of learning your children are fine and you just want to look to September, you can hand your iPad back for that reason as well. And we'll put them in their class sets. We'll get them cleaned, charged, and again, prepared and ready for a good run at things in September. A huge thank you to everybody who got involved in Wednesday's Festival of Remarkable Lives. I thought it was an amazing day. I thought everything went spectacularly well, especially for our first shot at something on such a big scale. And we spoke to the Trust yesterday, who have said over 50,000 people got involved on the day, which is incredible, considering the number of schools that we have. 58 schools, over 30,000 children. So we had more than every single child involved. Some amazing celebrities on the day. David Walliams, we had Paul Pescasolido, the ex-footballer, and of course, government ministers and aides that were dropping in messages as well. There were some problems with the network, and you're always going to get that with 50,000 people, I think. But all in all, I thought it was a spectacular day, and I'm really pleased that we got involved. Some of you we saw live getting their 5 minutes of fame, and some of you were receiving rewards as well, and awards rather. And I think it's given us an extra impetus to go for the competitions at next year's festival as well. So look out for those after Christmas. We've got a bit of time for that, of course. More free school meal information this week. If you already are a recipient of free school meal vouchers, you don't need to do anything for the summer holidays. We'll take care of all of that on your behalf. If, though, you are someone who thinks they should be getting free school meals, please, can you get that sorted? I know Miss Williams has sent a text out over the last couple of days yesterday. If you are, or you think you're one of those people who needs to apply for free school meals, please do it quickly, as there is a cut-off point. And once we miss the cut-off point, there's nothing neither you or school will be able to do about that situation. If you're unsure, go and have a look at the information and go and speak to people who might be able to help as well, including, of course, ourselves and in particular Miss Williams about that situation. You might have seen from the government yesterday morning, they released information about returning to school in September. and guidance and legalities around that. We're really pleased that information has come in a little bit earlier than we were expecting. So we haven't done a lot with the information. We know it. Most of the stuff we do will be over the summer and in the early stages of the autumn term. It does say that all children are back, and I'm so pleased to see that message. We know that you will still have your apprehensions and feeling about the situation, but the expectation from the DfE and indeed our school as well will be that all children return in September. If you have any questions or queries or worries about that, please get in touch and we'll have a conversation. It's up to us again and the new reforming of school, like we've done 2 or 3 times already, to show you, prove to you that our measures will be in place to keep your children, our staff, and of course you as parents and carers and the community as safe as possible. But brilliant to see that all of our children will be back in September. Just about to mention that, Louise, there was a unanimous decision made from parents. So we sent a survey out earlier this week after a conversation with you, Louise. So I do want to say thank you very much for prompting that. We sent out a survey asking your thoughts and feelings on uniform from September. I asked the trust about what they were doing and other heads across the trust, and also spoke to our staff as well. And it was unanimous that we all want to see a return of normal uniform in September. So that's what we're going to do. I'm hoping that giving you that information now means that you've got plenty of time to do something about that. The main reasons were around having their normal clothes protected, especially from things like whiteboard, pen, etc., having plenty of time to be able to purchase and get sorted, especially where there's a few children in the same family attending the same school. That sense of uniformity, which is obviously the purpose of uniform, but that belonging to a setting and a place that comes with wearing uniform. And of course, the fact that it's really smart and it puts everyone on a level pegging. So, there can't be any discussions about anyone's brands being better than anyone else's. So lots of really good reasons. And again, thank you very much for getting involved. The message was loud and clear. So that's what we're going to go with. Year 5s, you're coming back next week. I'm super excited to see you all. If you are a Year 5 and you're not sure, ask your parents. If you decided not to, but you're thinking about changing your mind, please let us know in advance. But for those of you that are returning on Monday, make sure you check out the text and the information on social media about the times that you are to be in. So you need to be coming for a 9:30 start every morning. And that's a little bit later than normal, but with all of the other staggered starts, it's keeping us safe. You can only use the Esk Street entrance, and you will finish at 3:30 every day, which is a little bit later, but that's to help again with staggered starts and finishes from other year groups, but also because it helps with that later start, so we don't feel like you're missing out in terms of teaching time in the day. And again, only the Esk Street gate can be used. If you have any questions or queries about the Year 5s coming back, as always, please get in touch. And we've got Mr. Hall in the chat there saying, yippee. I know he's really excited to be back in school. And Mr. Hall, we've missed you as well. I'm looking forward to see you coming back to school. Next week is our last week for the daily videos on YouTube, or the daily videos in the way that you know them. So one more week of the 4-task format from our learning menus. The last week, I mentioned this last week, and I'll do the same a week today as well. The last week we have titled The Nopper Showstopper. And we're going to mix it up Monday to Friday with a different set of activities. They will still come as a video, but probably one per phase in most of the year groups and most of the phases, but completely different to what it is that you have been doing. And it's a lovely way, we think, to just round off what's been a pretty strange year, to mix it up in the last week, get excited and interested in some slightly different activities and other things that we can do around making videos and research and whatnot, and a different theme for each day. So I will share those with you a week today. 2 more things, one of which is a huge thank you and goodbye. Some of you will know that this is the end of the last working week, if you like, for the lovely Heather and Dominic, who, of course, are our vicar and wife, my mind went completely empty there, at the lovely Trinity Church. They're moving on after all of their amazing years of service in North Ormsby. I'm sure it's 14 years. I might have that wrong because I've been looking at loads of numbers recently. I'm sure someone will correct. But a significant amount of years here in North Ormsby, and an absolutely amazing service. So today is the last day that we're going to be able to see Heather and Dominic. Some of you may well see them over the weekend. I know they start in their new area in Hull on Monday. So this is my message, although we are planning to see them soon. So we've got a nice farewell to do for them. But if they do say this, a huge thank you from me, from everybody here at North Ormsby Primary Academy, past and present. And what an amazing service and what an amazing part of the community you have been over the last few years. And all the best, and we wish you every success for the future in Hull. And we hope you aren't strangers. They're not going to be strangers. We're going to be checking in on them from time to time. And I'm sure we'll meet each other on social media every now and then. My final message is to say a huge thank you to you as parents, children and staff for everything over the past 14, 15 weeks. We only have 2 to go now until the summer. It's been an incredible year, a crazy and bizarre year, but incredible for a lot of different reasons, all the same. Have an absolutely amazing weekend, as I always say on a Friday. I always also say, look after each other, always choose kindness, be safe, and I'll see you all and speak to you all again really, really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.